In the dead of winter, 1959, 9 experienced hikers walked into the icy Ural Mountains of Russia. None of them ever walked out alive. What investigators found would become one of the most chilling and baffling unsolved mysteries in modern history. Bodies scattered across the snow, inexplicable injuries, radiation on their clothes, and a tent slashed open. From the inside. This is the true story of the Dyatlov Pass Incident, a mystery that continues to haunt us even after more than 60 years. Our story begins at the Ural Polytechnic Institute, where a group of young, ambitious mountaineers were planning a difficult winter expedition. Their leader was 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, an experienced and disciplined hiker. With him were 8 others, a tight-knit group of friends, and fellow students: Zinaida Kolmogorova, Lyudmila Dubanina, Rustem Slobodin, Yuri Doroshenko, Yuri Krivonyshenko, Alexander Klivetov, and Nikolai Thibault-Brignol. Rounding out the group was the most enigmatic member, Semyon Zolotaryov, a former military man whose true purpose on the trip remains a subject of debate to this day. On January 27, 1959, the group began their trek, pushing through deep snow and bone-chilling temperatures. Despite the brutal conditions, their diaries and photographs show them in high spirits. They were laughing, singing songs, and filled with the confidence of youth. On February 1st, they reached the slopes of a desolate mountain known to the local Mansi people as Kholat Syakhl, which translates to Dead Mountain. As a heavy storm closed in, visibility dropped to near zero. Instead of retreating, they made a fateful decision to pitch their tent right there on the exposed mountainside, planning to wait out the storm and continue the next day. That evening, huddled together against the cold, they took what would be their final photograph. In it, they're smiling, completely unaware that this would be one of the last images of them alive. Weeks passed, and the group failed to return as scheduled. Panic began to set in, and search parties were dispatched into the unforgiving wilderness. For days, they found nothing. Then, on February 26th, a search pilot spotted something dark against the white snow, the hikers' abandoned tent. What the rescuers found was deeply unsettling. The tent had been violently ripped open, not from the outside, but from the inside, as if the occupants had frantically cut their way out. Inside, all their essential gear was left behind: winter coats, boots, gloves, and supplies. No experienced hiker would ever willingly venture into a minus 30-degree blizzard without proper clothing. Something must have terrified them so much that they fled in a state of pure panic. Footprints in the snow confirmed this terrifying theory. They showed that the group had run from the tent, some of them barefoot, others wearing only socks. The tracks led downhill towards the edge of a nearby forest, nearly a mile away. Under a large cedar tree at the forest's edge, the searchers made their first grim discovery: the bodies of Yuri Doroshenko and Yuri Krivonyshenko. They were dressed only in their underwear. Their hands and feet were burned, suggesting they had desperately tried to start a fire or had frantically climbed the rough bark of the cedar tree to escape something on the ground. A short distance away, between the cedar tree and the camp, 3 more bodies were found: Igor Dyatlov, Zinaida Kolmogorova, and Rustem Slobodin. They were frozen in poses that suggested they were crawling back up the slope, trying to make it back to the relative safety of the tent. It was a race against the elements they had tragically lost. But 4 hikers were still missing. For over 2 months, the search continued. Finally, as the spring thaw melted the deep snow, the remaining bodies were discovered in a ravine, buried under more than 10 feet of snow. The nature of their injuries was shocking. Lyudmila Dubanina had suffered massive internal trauma with multiple broken ribs, and her tongue was mysteriously missing. Semyon Zolotaryov had crushing chest fractures, the kind of damage doctors compared to a high-speed car crash. Yet, perplexingly, there were almost no external wounds on their bodies. The mystery deepened. Some of their clothing was found to contain unusually high levels of radiation. The medical examiner, baffled by the findings, stated that the force required to cause such injuries was immense and that no human being could have inflicted them. The Soviet government's reaction was swift and suspicious. The investigation was abruptly closed. The files were classified as top secret. Witnesses were ordered to remain silent, and the families were given a vague, unsatisfactory explanation. The hikers had died from a compelling natural force. No details, no evidence, nothing that made any sense. This official cover-up only fueled decades of speculation. So what really happened on Dead Mountain? Over the years, countless theories have emerged. The most common explanation is an avalanche, but seasoned investigators found no evidence of a slab avalanche. The tent wasn't buried, and the hikers' tracks were clearly visible. Others have suggested an attack by wild animals, but animals don't inflict massive internal injuries without leaving external bite or claw marks. The presence of radiation led many to believe the group stumbled upon a secret Soviet military weapons test. But if it was a bomb or missile, where was the crater? Where was the shrapnel? Why were the injuries so specific and so strange? Local Mansi tribesmen spoke of strange, glowing orbs seen in the sky over the mountains on the night the hikers disappeared. One of the group's own cameras captured a bizarre, unexplained light in its final frame. Could they have witnessed a classified aircraft or a missile test gone wrong? More unsettling theories point to something supernatural, something the Mansi people had warned about for generations. They considered the mountain a place of powerful, dangerous spirits. When the case files were finally declassified decades later, investigators discovered a trail of lies, errors, and missing evidence. Key documents had vanished, photographs were gone. Autopsy reports were incomplete. It seemed as if someone had deliberately tried to bury the truth, to make the world forget what happened on that mountain. Today, the Dyatlov Pass Incident remains one of the world's most disturbing and compelling unsolved mysteries. What force could terrify 9 seasoned hikers into running half-dressed to their deaths in a frozen wasteland? What could cause car crash-like injuries without breaking the skin? Why the radiation? Why the missing tongue? Why the government cover-up? Maybe it was a military secret so dark the world could never know. Maybe it was a rare and powerful natural phenomenon we still don't understand. Or maybe, just maybe, the hikers encountered something not of this world at all. The one thing we know for sure is that the truth, whatever it may be, lies buried forever under the snows of Dyatlov Pass. What happened that night has never been fully explained, and perhaps it was never meant to be. Thanks for watching. If you found this mystery as fascinating as I do, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the unknown. See you next time.